Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We're broadcasting live out of beautiful San Francisco at the Hard Asset Show. Our guest today is Mike Richings. Mike is the Chief Executive Officer of Vista Gold, trades in New York as VGZ. You've heard Mike here many times. Mike Richings, welcome back to TFNN.
Thanks, Tom. It's great to be back with you.
It's great seeing you, man. You get that great smile. It's a beautiful thing.
Well, you do a good job.
So tell me what's going on. Well, first off, if you can tell the listeners, where are we doing business and what's going on?
Well, I think as we've explained in the past, we have 6 properties with a total of about 18 million ounces of gold in the ground. All of those properties have been evaluated by independent consultants. And basically, we acquired these properties way before the gold price went up.
Yes.
And we've been holding them for higher gold prices to realize the increased value.
Sure.
And as you know, in 2007, we did the Allied Nevada transaction.
Huge.
Which was huge. It was very beneficial for our shareholders.
Our listeners are really happy, let me tell you.
Well, you know, as you remember,
Yeah.
each Vista shareholder got 8/10 of an Allied share.
Right.
Went from $5 to $25.
I know, amazing.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. And we hope to be able to repeat some of that again in the future.
Yes. Mexico. Want to start in Mexico? Where should we start? You get
Well,
Mexico.
Mexico's
we
a
got
good place to start.
Okay.
We've had some challenges, frankly. I mean, when we did the spin-off of Allied, our stock was $6 a share.
Yes.
That was in mid-2007. By the time early 2008, we had bad news on the permitting in Mexico. And that caused us to lose all the value that we've lost. So today we trade about $3 a share.
Yes.
We've had some challenges with the permitting. It's taken 3 years. I still can't give you a certain answer when we're going to get it solved.
Sure.
But I can tell you, I think we're starting to make some positive traction. I think that we will resolve it next year. Hopefully we'll resolve it in the first quarter. In which case we could probably be in production in Mexico by the end of 2012.
And that'd be incredible. Was the infrastructure already built there? Is that what?
No, this is a completely greenfield site, but a lot of work has been done on it. This was owned
that's
by,
right. They told me that. That's right.
This was owned by Echo Bay. They'd invested, I think, over $30 million over, the project's been known since '85, but over about a 10-year period.
Okay.
They invested about $30 million. Project's great. It produces, on average, 128,000 ounces a year. Average production costs about $409 an ounce.
Amazing.
And, kind of cash flow that gets spun off at today's gold prices would be $100 million a year.
Huge.
So
Huge.
It's been a killer for us.
Yeah, I'm with
trying
you.
to get these permits sorted
you.
out. As I said, I think we're starting to make some traction.
Yeah.
And I think, we're hopeful that something will happen early in the new year.
So now let's go to Mount Todd.
Well, we haven't been sitting on our thumbs while the last 3 years has been passing us by. We have moved forward with a big project that we hold in the Northern Territories of Australia.
Yes.
When we acquired it, it had 3 million ounces. Now we have 7.4 million ounces of measured, indicated, and inferred resources. We've completed our first preliminary feasibility study, which gives us reserves now, proven and probable reserves,
Yes.
of a little over 2 million ounces. We're working on a second edition of that study, and hopefully we're going to release it here in early December, that we think will point to about 4 million ounces of proven and probable reserves, to a larger project that will have about 250,000 ounces a year of production. That will, I think, be the value part of our story.
Yes.
It will far surpass in ultimate value what we've been doing in Mexico.
Yeah. Australia, the Northern Territories in Australia, I mean, resource-wise, that's huge, right?
It is. It's a huge area. People really have no concept of the size of the Northern Territory.
Yes.
I mean, it's all of the central portion of Australia, all of the top northern portion of Australia. And the total population is about 300,000 people.
Except for the alligators, they're the crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
They're probably like more than 300,000, right?
Lots of crocodiles. And we have a great relationship with the Northern Territory government. As you recall, we entered into an agreement with the government when we took this property because
Yes.
there is an existing reclamation liability.
Okay.
The government continues to hold that liability. And if we apply for and receive the permits to operate the mine, then we will take that liability. It's not a problem, however, because it's exactly the same area we will disturb. So
Oh, isn't that cool?
It's not it's not an additional liability to us.
Right.
It's just the same liability we would have had to undertake anyway with our development.
Right.
And they are very cooperative, and they've been very helpful. I just got back, in fact, from Northern Territory, where we signed an extension to the agreement, another 5-year term. That was always contemplated.
That's
that we do
important,
that.
right?
And the Minister of Mines and Natural Resources in the Territory was very complimentary of Vista. So we feel the same about him.
Now, the mining business in general, first time I met you, we go back almost 10 years now, 8 years, 10
Right.
years. And, we've seen, we've had political risk, which Australia we don't have, certainly.
Right.
You have, the economics of energy, and then we have help. And the last time I talked to you, help was always hard to get. Is that still is that changing somewhat? Younger people coming into it? No.
No, I think that is the challenge for the industry.
Okay.
For now and for probably 10 or 15 years.
It'll take that long, yeah.
We're paying the price for the fact that during the period, from something like the mid-'80s
Sure.
through to the early 2000s, there was basically reducing investment. There was the lack of interest. There were not students going into
Right.
mining. There were not salaries being paid.
Right.
And today it's the opposite situation, but that takes 10 years for
Exactly.
to catch back up. People are going into mining industry now, making huge salaries,
Right.
enjoying rapid promotion,
Right.
and we're getting a lot of new graduates coming into the.
And then you need the experience on top of that too,
That's
don't
right. That is the other problem. There's a lot of there's not a lot of people between me
Yes.
and people with only 10 years of experience.
Yeah, right, right. That's good to know, though. I mean,
Yeah.
at least, job creation, the mining industry in general is a huge job creator.
Yeah, that's a problem in Australia in particular.
Okay.
Not the job creation part
Right.
of it, the fact that there's a lack of people.
Yes.
But we have in Australia a lot of one of the things that have changed significantly in the last 10, 15 years there is the energy situation. At our Mount Todd site, we have a natural gas pipeline. Natural gas has dropped in prices.
Oh, it's huge.
There's a huge supply of natural gas now
Isn't
in the
that
Northern
great?
Territory. And so, we will put in our own generation plant,
Sure.
and our power costs will be some of the lowest in the world. About
And-
6 cents per kilowatt hour.
And in Australia, right? I mean, China's driving a lot of Australia, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They are trying, where the government permits them, they're trying to invest in everything that they can in natural
Yeah,
resources.
they want that resource, no doubt about it.
And maybe that might one day drive our strategy with respect to Mount Todd.
It totally makes sense.
Right.
I mean, because
it's a very large project,
yes.
and
Right.
maybe there's an alliance for us in the future.
And
You never know.
that's what large. Well, in this case, what was interesting, compared to talking with you or anyone else last time, it's like you have one thing, you have a company. You have another thing when we're talking a country.
Yeah.
And it's state-owned capitalism over there. So that is a whole different animal. It's like they can make a lot of mistakes where you and I
can
can't,
indeed, they
right?
can indeed. In fact, we visited China about 4 or 5 years ago, and one of the largest gold mining companies in China, Zijin Mining,
Right.
they're doing some very good work, and they've stubbed their toes a little bit on some of
Yes.
their expansions overseas, but their domestic production looks pretty good.
This morning I introduced the VOMI and EVOMI index, and I got to tell you, in all what they both are is what you are paying for dirt in the ground, and Vista's case, you come up that you're paying $7 an ounce for dirt in the ground. That's pretty cool.
Well, we are definitely probably one of the lowest price stocks when you consider the value that we provide.
Yes.
And there's a reason for it, Tom. I mean,
Yes.
we've been beaten on the permitting,
Yes.
and I think there's a fair deal of skepticism in some quarters about Mount Todd because it was the site of a failed operation in the
Okay.
past. But I got to tell you, we've done a lot of technical work, a lot
Yes.
of technical studies, and we think we have all the answers as to why the previous operator failed. And what I plan to do is once this second preliminary feasibility study is out, I'm going to spend a lot of time in Toronto and New York and London working with the buy and the sell side analysts, the technical analysts,
right,
and work on convincing them that we have got the answers.
educate them.
And I
yes.
think once that happens, you'll see a lot more interest in our stock, because this is a very large project.
Yes.
And I think the market in Toronto especially likes large stories.
Oh, they're looking for it, no doubt about it. Listen, folks, thanks for being with us today. It's Vista Gold. You can go to their website at Vista Gold. Mike Richings, it's always a pleasure. Look forward to speaking to you again, and particularly look forward to Vista, going up, on, and out.
Thank you, Tom. And as always, we enjoy being here.
That's right. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.